Hello everyone, and welcome to this AMA with the Dojima Network's lead developers. Today we have an exciting discussion ahead about Dojima Chain with its core developers who are redefining the term interoperability. I'm your moderator, Shubham, who is also the developer of Dojima Network, and I'm really thrilled to be here with you all. Before we jump into the questions, let's take a moment to introduce our panelists. We have Arvind, who is one of the core developers of Dojima Network and is making interoperability possible. We also have Uday, who is also one of the core developers of Dojima Network and who loves to abstract away the complicated things and make it easier for the people to use it. And we have our very own integrations lead engineer, Vijay. And what is his job profile? I guess you would have guessed it. But to be fair with Vijay, I will do the introduction. He is responsible for all the integrations between Dojima Network and other protocols. So with that, let's get started and delve into what Dojima Network is trying to do at the backstage. So as we already know that the blockchain Picasso started back in the year 2009 with the advent of Bitcoin. So protocol who are working or incorporating Bitcoin would be really something to talk on. And so my very first question would be to Arvind about how Dojima Network is working to incorporate Bitcoin and why is it important to incorporate Bitcoin even as a protocol?
So first of all, thanks Shubhav for having me here. And myself, I'm Aravind, working as a blockchain developer in Dojima Network, and I'm responsible for integrating BTC and basically non-EVM chains with the Dojima network. So we all know that BTC has been the pioneer in DeFi space for last 10 years. So as a cross-chain infra company, we are trying to unlock the potential of BTC by making it possible to integrate with all present L1 chains using Dojima as a middle ground. By enabling BTC integration, we can unlock some millions of dollars into this cross-chain space. So before delving into what we offer, I would like to state few advancements in BTC space. So when BTC was launched, so majorly it was used as an asset for global payments. So it was only responsible for peer-to-peer token transfer. So after invention of Ethereum and this DeFi space, many people have tried to bring BTC into this DeFi ecosystem. To state few recent advancements, so recently we saw an upgrade in BTC named as Segwit. So what this does is, in the older versions of the BTC transactions, the witness, like the signatures of the transactions, were part of the transaction. So now the witnesses are separated from the block. So now the witnesses, that means like the signatures of the transactions will be not part of the block, and the separate space have been allocated for the transactions in the block, and that is Segwit upgrade. And after Segwit upgrade, we had an upgrade known as Taproot, which itself contained snort signatures. So before this snort signatures, BTC was using ECDSA signature algorithm to do the transactions. So, like, why did they really want to introduce this snort signatures? So, for in BTC, for multi-sig to happen using ECDSA, system needed to verify like multiple signatures of the users. So, for example, if we take like two of five multi-sig, so system needed to go through all two signatures to be sure that this multi-signature is valid or not. But with the invention of snort signatures, it provided the ability to combine multiple public keys and signatures into one. Now, if we consider the same example of 2 of n multisig, so with help of only a single signature, we'll be able to classify it as a valid transaction or a fault transaction. And with the invention of this snort signatures and taproot upgrade, most of us have heard, like here, the most of us would have heard about this term known as ordinals or inscriptions on BTC in recent days. So due
Yes.
to the so due to the recent Segwit and Taproot upgrades, so these ordinals or inscriptions were possible. So other than the cross-chain BTC transfers, we also started supporting cross-chain ordinals. Like if you have ETH as your currency, like you can inscribe on BTC using ETH or Dodge, which is our native token. So our further developments might contain the integration of runes and also other BTC protocols that come all the way. Hope I have given a brief about how BTC integration is happening on Dojima.
Definitely. That was a really insightful explanation, and I got to know a few things which I didn't know about BTC protocol and the intricacies before this. So it was really, really insightful. And it's also really nice to see, how Dojima chain is embracing Bitcoin and, just not moving ahead solo in this space, but also making the one who started it all. That is Bitcoin. So, keep the things, on a same page. So, moving ahead, my next question would be again to you, Arvind, and that is an extension of the previous question only. So, as we see that in the interoperability space, major protocols that are working are EVM to EVM. But how Dojima network is looking at that scenario, and what Dojima is doing different that other protocols are not doing.
So mostly, if you have a look at all cross-chain protocols, so mostly everyone started providing support for EVM chains. So other than EVM chains, there are few chains to concentrate on. So to name a few, there are BTC, which have given a brief intro, and also Solana and Sui. So other than this, there are also some chains. But to start with, we have concentrated on BTC and Solana. And moving on to Solana, Solana gained its popularity due to its speed and execution power. But programming model on Solana was something really different, which was really hard to adopt for the developer community. It's like mostly if someone is trying to code an smart contract on EVM chains, so developer, it's like really kind of easy for a developer. It's nothing but it will be similar to the modern languages which we are using, such as JavaScript and etc. But Solana itself uses the different programming model, and it states it calls the programming model as Solana account model. So now what is this Solana account model? To give a brief about this Solana account model, in most of the EVM chains, every contract will be having memory attached to with this contract, and in this memory the variables and other stuff the contract related stuff will be stored. But on Solana, they call this Solana programs as stateless programs. There won't be any state attached to this Solana programs. So in Solana, if you want to store something, you can only store in an account. And by default, all accounts are owned by this system program, which is a part of core Solana. And if you want to store some data, you can create an account, and the ownership will be transferred from system program to your program, and you can just store the data you want. And now coming back to the challenges for integrating this Solana, we need to keep in mind it's like EVM chain and Solana are completely different. Both are the core structure of this both chains are really different. The way Solana manages its SPL tokens is completely different from how ETH Ethereum manages its ERC20 tokens. So mere data passage has no use on Solana without accounts holding the state of the program. In EVM chains, if you just have the data, so you can process it and you can derive some output from it. But in Solana, with mere data passage, you won't be having that much usefulness. To make it more useful, you also need to pass the accounts before invocation of your function. So these are the accounts data of the respected programs are stored. So at present, we have two ways to integrate with on Solana. One is payload transfer. It is it is similar to some arbitrary message transfer from other chains to Solana. And another is token transfer. So using this token transfer functionality, developers can easily transfer Solana tokens from other chains.
So, as being developer myself, I know that working on non-EVM blockchain is itself a very difficult task, and making cross-chain transactions possible on non-EVM is something, really difficult to achieve. But, doing something different is not everyone's cup of tea. So yes, Dojima is doing really something different and better. As I feel that, blockchain space mass adoption will occur when blockchains will be unified with one another. That is when all the blockchains are connected to each other and are happening and transferring messages to one another at the same time. But as the unifying of blockchains is necessary for mass adoption, so as to for the people, for the users who are using it to deploy smart contracts on the blockchain by themselves. So what Uday is trying to achieve in Dojima network is the same thing, you know. So what Uday is trying to develop is a developer dashboard, and I want to know what exactly is developer dashboard and what it's all about.
Hello everyone. So myself Uday. I'm a developer in Dojima. So before answering the question, I would like to thank everyone present here for joining this session. So to answer the question that Shubham has asked, so developer dashboard is an end-to-end developer platform built to ease issues or blockages faced by developers, from development to instant deployment and easy integration of smart contracts on different chains. So let's see this in developers' perspective. So what are the problems faced by developers? Nowadays, there are n number of chains, and each blockchain network operates independently with its own set of rules, consensus mechanisms, and different program languages for smart contract deployment. Let's take, for example, on Ethereum and EVM chains, we need to learn Solidity, and for Solana or Polkadot, we need to learn Rust language. And when it comes to RView, we need to go with JavaScript, and there are more languages for different chains. So this language barrier complicates the development process, requiring developers to learn and adapt to new languages and tools for each chain, which will become bit hectic for developers. So at Dojima, we are trying to address these challenges with developer dashboard by providing a unified platform for managing all aspects of blockchain development. So in Dojima, the developer dashboard offers a single intuitive interface for managing multiple blockchain projects across different chains, whether it is a Solidity, Rust, JavaScript, or whatever. Developer can just provide the basic inputs required for contract creation, writing contracts, and deploy them seamlessly on the supported chains. For example, right now we have done the setup for EVM chains like Ethereum, Binance Smart Chain, and Avalanche. So we are providing two types of projects. One is ERC20 and NFT templates. We already done a predefined templates for these ERC20 and NFT chains. So developers can deploy template contracts and applications across multiple chains in just a few clicks, saving their time and effort. So the developer just need to log into the developer dashboard, and he can select the type of project which he wants to create and the chains which we are providing. So he can just do in a few clicks, and he can create a smart contract on that particular chains and deploy them seamlessly.
Thank you, Uday, for that explanation. The developer dashboard really is a valuable tool, not only for developers, but people who also wants to deploy their own smart contracts but don't have that technical expertise. But it's always the case with a technology or tool that caters to a very large audience. So its current scenario just excites us about what it is doing. But the future development of that particular technology gives us the glimpse of where we are heading as a technology or a space. So I want to ask Uday, what is the Dojima Network's plan for developer dashboard, and what can we expect in the future with that?
So right now, our next step is to expand the reach of our platform by integrating additional blockchain networks such as Solana, Bitcoin, Polkadot, and more, which our team is working. As you have already listened, Arvind has provided inputs on Solana and Bitcoin, so we are trying to set up that also in developer dashboard. So by supporting a wider range of blockchains, we empower developers to deploy contracts and transfer data across various networks. This integration will enable developers to make use of unique features and capabilities of each blockchain, unlocking new possibilities required for decentralized applications, that is dApps. So whenever an user wants to send data or transfer tokens and more, they can just deploy the contracts, and Dojima will serve as a middle ground for those connections, and the data can be passed to different chains, whether it is EVM or non-EVM. So, and we are also planning the development of an end-to-end dApps that utilize the Omnichain contracts which deployed through our platform. So this dApp will offer a seamless user experience and provide valuable functionality for users across different blockchain networks. So the user can just click a button and we'll do the background process of creating the dApp using the deployed contracts, and he can use wherever he want. And additionally, we'll also provide robust tracking mechanisms to monitor user activity, transactions done on that particular app, and overall usage of that app. So by tracking user interactions and behavior, we will gain a valuable insights to optimize the app performance and enhance the user experience. So he can do whatever he want with that app and track all the details which are done in that particular app.
So as far as I understood, it will be like what AI did to Web2 space, the developer dashboard could be something for the Web3 space, bringing more mass adoption and the normal users who really are the actual people who uses the technology. So thank you, Uday, for giving us a little glimpse of what future of blockchain space will be like in few years. So now moving forward to our next question, I want to ask Vijay, Dojima Networks integration lead engineer, us an overview of the current landscape of integrations with Dojima and what Dojima Network is really looking for, in terms of integrations.
Hey folks, thanks for joining here today. This is Vijay from Dojima Networks Integrations Lead Engineer. First thing, let's go ahead and answer the question asked by Shubham to give a brief about Dojima's integration, on what basis we are integrating with the protocols or the projects. First, let me give you an idea. We have recently partnered with many protocols which are also trying to make the mass adoption of the blockchain possible, but as you asked about what we are looking for is a vision oriented projects who share the common vision of making the blockchain space interoperable. For example, cross chain DEX, cross chain NFT marketplace, basically anything that is cross chain, we are listening.
Okay, so everyone listening today, if you have a great idea, please reach out to Vijay and get integrated into Dojima Network and be part of the Omnichain revolution. And thank you, Vijay, for that overview. It's fascinating to see, that Dojima Network is open to innovations and protocols and projects of every scenario, which every protocol should be doing as per me. But, not everyone does that, but Dojima Network is doing, so it's really great of them. So, with that, we come to an end of the AMA. Thank you all for joining us today in our exploration of Dojima Network's innovations and future plans with their brilliant developers. We have gained valuable insights into their approach towards incorporating Bitcoin, their unique interoperability solutions, really cool tech developer dashboard, and their integration landscape, which every developer should be look out for. So a special thanks to our speakers, Arvind, Uday, and Vijay, for taking the time out and sharing their expertise. Remember, the conversation doesn't stop here. Feel free to continue engaging with us on Twitter and stay tuned for more updates from Dojima Chain and the broader blockchain community. Until next time, keep exploring, innovating, and pushing the boundaries of blockchain technology. Goodbye for now, and have a great day.